La 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 la. I can't hear you. Welcome to the mess.
On the surface she looks fine, but what's inside ain't always in line. Life is good, life is bad. She's a mess, but a happy one.
Hi, I'm littlehappymess and welcome to my podcast. Story time. So, welcome back to a new episode. I'm happy you're here with me again. Today I want to talk about how you shouldn't listen to anyone. What I mean by that is that, especially if you're sensitive too. So for all my sensitive friends out there, we tend to value other people's opinion a little too much. Why? Because we like to please people. Not because we just like crawling up people's ass, but rather out of insecurity and out of this urge to have a harmony around us and to spread harmony, because this harmony affects us a lot, because when you're really sensitive, then you tend to what do you want to say, to to soak in everything that happens in your environment more. And when there are fights or some incoherences, it like really affects us, and we can't stop thinking about it, or I can't stop thinking about it, like, oh my God, and my dad hates me, or my mom hates me, or my best friend hates me because of that and that. And maybe that friend or your parents don't even value it that bad, but you do. Anyway, out of this whole urge of feeling harmony around us, and to some extent insecurity as well, we want to please people. And how do we please people? Well, we do what they want to do. And we try to not like put our needs back, but just arrange them in a way that they function well with the needs of the people we love most, and doesn't hurt them in some kind of way, and is in coherence with their beliefs and what they think. But sometimes when we want to do something, when we want to achieve something, when we want to start something, it's not in coherence with what other people think, or what our loved ones think and find good or not find good or whatsoever. And then this is where the struggle happens. So, maybe we have this new great idea, and then we tell our loved ones about it, and they're just skeptical. They're like, you really want to do this? Do you really think this works? But that's like a whole other career path. Does it really make sense? Or do you really think you're that good at it? And this really hurts us. Why? Because all we want is is that people around us appreciate us, that they think that what we do is good, and it really hurts us deep down. So we tend to not do whatever there is in our head, like our great vision or some kind of mission we feel drawn to, our intuition that always gives us signs about what we really should be doing, but what we're not doing because it seems too hard, and all those opinions around us seem like obstacles. And apart from our loved ones, there's also like outside people, or like people that aren't even that important to you, but their voices really affect you too, or their opinions. So maybe you tell your boss about it, and you really value the opinion of your boss, and he or she isn't even that close to you, but he or she seems really successful, so you want to tell them about your idea, and then they give you a weird look, or I don't know, someone somewhere heard about it, and he or she is like, ah, and maybe laughs at you, like some negative kind of reaction, and it really, really affects you, and automatically triggers feelings like you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you don't have the necessary skills, your ideas are stupid, and maybe even you don't matter, your ideas don't matter, your purpose, your vision, your mission don't matter. And that really sucks, because then you stop doing whatever you wanted to do, or what you've already started. And I'm of the opinion that whenever we feel some like, no, not inconveniences, no, when we don't feel well in our bodies, so let's say some physical issues, but then also mental issues, obviously, then we somehow are not aligned with what we're meant to do, so what life wants us to do. So if we have a headache, if you have back pain, if some chronic illness occurs, if chronic illness worsens, so if your allergy gets worse, or whatever condition that you have, or if you develop symptoms of depression, anxiety, whatsoever, I think that those symptoms occur, or those illnesses occur because we're not doing what we should be doing. We're not doing what we should be doing. We're not saying what we should be saying, and we're not moving forward in the right direction. So we're going a path that's not the one we should be going on. And I'm also of the opinion that the thing we want most, so the thing we're kind of destined to do, so that is our life mission that we came to Earth for, is also the hardest to execute, and is also the one where we face most inconveniences, or where many people say, yeah, that's just shit, or that's stupid, or what are you thinking? Because that's where we experience the most development, if we go against the status quo, or our personal status quo. Yes, it's like, it's a really hard path, but it's so worth it. Wisdom. So now we come to the wisdom part. I've been faced with those people holding me back, or telling me my ideas are not good, or not realistic, or whatsoever, very, very often, especially by people close to me. It really hurt every time, and it took me a while to really start walking on my path, and there's some things that helped me along the way in different areas, because there's still some areas in my life that need to unfold. Obviously, there always is. And then there's some areas that already got attention, and could heal in some ways, and are starting to unfold, or are already unfolding. Yes, and I want to tell you about that. Anyway, the people close to us are the ones we love most, and the ones where we value their opinion the greatest, obviously. There's like this saying, it's by Campbell, I think, and he said, don't do what daddy says, because daddy always has your security on first priority. So actually, in many, many cases, the people that love us most don't mean to hurt us when they tell us not to do something, or when they play bad cop and tell us that they don't think our ideas are good, and don't want us to do whatever we feel like we want to do, because they have our security in mind. They don't want us to fail. They don't want us to feel bad, and they really like mean well. But even if they mean well, they will never know you as much as you know you, and they will never know your potential the way you do. And they don't know about whatever you feel inside, this vision, this calling that you feel like you have to follow. So, what I'm trying to say is the opinions are important, and I tell my loved ones a lot, well, basically everything. And when I see that they don't agree to whatever I'm saying, then I'm like, just wait and see. So I know that they can't see the full picture because I can't explain it, or because it's just not for them. They just can't envision it, and it's okay. And even if they tell us no, sometimes that's even good, if it's in a appreciative way, and if it's in a way of giving feedback rather than talking us or you down. What really helped me here is really sort out people in my inner circle. So like 2 years ago, I like broke with a lot of people. Well, actually, it weren't that many, but it were people really, really close. And I realized in like bad times that they actually weren't there for me. So it were toxic relationship that held me back more than what I actually gained out of it. So I was held down in so many ways, and I always felt small and insecure, and the way they treated me, I felt those feelings even more. So when I like eliminated those people out of my life, so many things started happening. I finally started following my creative callings. So I had this one friend who was really creative, and whenever I had ideas, she was like, no. So she always gave me the feeling that what I'm doing is not enough, and is not good, and yes, and it reflects her own issues because she was really ambitious, and probably still is, I don't know, and she maybe she didn't even mean bad, but anyway, when I freed myself from that relationship, I started drawing more. I started this podcast. I started filming and taking photos more, and got really confident in it because I got feedback from other people. So I didn't look for it there, but I looked for it in other places, and the results were really, really good. So that's the inner circle. Be really careful about who you surround yourself with, because even the people we know the longest, that's probably the hardest, but also the most important, because those people tend to like keep you in whatever role they've originally met you or spent the most time with you, and you maybe outgrew that role already. And those childhood friends, I mean, it's amazing if it still works, but just be careful, because as a child you had different standards when it came to friendship than you might have now. So just be really conscious about who is close to you, who you're telling your ideas to, your problems to, and if that really supports you or if that rather like pulls you down. And so that's the inner circle. But then there's also other people, strangers or whatsoever, that in most cases just feel threatened. So they somehow see what you're doing, or you tell them what you do, and then they just talk it down. And it really hurts, because sometimes they have really hurtful language, or they make fun of you or something like that. And that really, 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 really hurts. But you have to keep in mind that if people don't give you constructive feedback, but just talk you down, just keep you in a small role, kind of. It's just because they feel threatened by you. They it's probably that they want to go on their journey, or that they think your idea is really, really, really good, and they envy you for your idea and for your, maybe your spark and your joy, and when you tell them about it, because they never went on their mission, or they're too scared to go on their mission. So basically, their negative shit is just projected onto you, and really their words or actions come from a place of deep, deep, deep fear, and you should actually feel with them, and most importantly, not listen to them, because that's just shit that doesn't get you any further. So what I would give as an advice here: don't tell everybody. Tell people that do something similar, or that also already went on their mission, or are in the process of going there. Tell those people, because they share the same enthusiasm as you. And then choose your inner circle in a way where you feel supported and held. But don't tell too many people. I mean, obviously, you should tell an outside person if you need their expertise. So if, let's say, you want to create videos and you talk to a videographer or something like that, that fully makes sense. And maybe choose that person wisely, and then that person gives you constructive feedback in a way of, I think your idea is good, but we need to work on these parts because, and then some reason for it. Because feedback is very different to just expressing opinions in a hurtful way. Yes, and some other tips that are helpful for me, or were helpful for me, are, first of all, I created a support group. So whenever I do something new and cool, I post it in this group. It's on WhatsApp, and there's like my friends and families in there, because I have like a great support net right now, and I post everything in there, and then I get like a lot of love and appreciation, and also feedback. So if they don't think that something's good, they like tell me where I should change something and look over it with me, and that's really helpful. So there's creative people in there, there's like really social people in there, like there's all the competences that I need, and there's a lot of love in there. It's called Support the Mess, by the way. So I created that, and then also what really helped me are my meditation rituals, where I really like tune into my own body and soul, because sometimes I spend too much time outside of me, kind of. So I like pick up something, some opinions there, and some feelings there, blah 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 blah, and then I'm not really inside of me anymore. So I can't listen to my intuition anymore, or to things my body needs. And when I meditate, I can go back to myself. I can reflect on things differently. So when I need to make a decision, for example, and I meditate before I take that decision first, then my decision comes out of another place. It doesn't come out of a place of anxiety or anger or rush or whatsoever, but like it really resonates with me. And meditating really helps me tune in with myself and like stay with myself, and not like with all those outside influences and opinions and whatsoever. So if I spend an hour on social media and then I do something, it's just influenced by everything I saw in there. And if I do something and first I meditated, then it comes from me, from the heart, from my soul, and it sends a different energy out there, and that really helps me. And apart from that, everything that builds my self-esteem helps me. So I actually like write down in my journal every morning that I am strong and I am powerful and I am, and whatever else I want to be. or I feel like I am, because that helps me, because I always struggle with self-confidence and self-esteem. And especially if you do something new, then you're less confident about it because, well, obviously you haven't got that much feedback and you're not secure in that area because you haven't done it before. So to really work on this general self-confidence really helps. And then also do things where you're really good at. For me, that's always like sports. Then they boost my self-confidence again, because that's something I'm good at. And I'm sure that we all have something we're good at, and that doesn't have to be sport. It can be cooking or writing or whatever it is. But like, do that too, so you work on your self-confidence. Yes. Further material. I think I've already mentioned that, but I want you to read or help me in these regards. Are the Big Five for Life from John Strelecky, if you pronounce that way, I don't know. Because the protagonist of the story, he like does things so different than what you would expect an entrepreneur in that case to do. But he's so successful with it, and that really inspires me, because most people who achieved something really great only did that by shattering the status quo, and they were all said to be crazy, like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, or like just name anyone else. And then they did it, they got successful with it, and suddenly people are like, oh, okay. But like they had to do something differently than everyone else before. And I feel like that story really reflects the success created by thinking differently than the rest does. So I would encourage you to read that. And yes, that was it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a comment, leave a like, go to social media if you want more messness. I post more there. If I feel like it, I'm Little Happy Mess everywhere. And I would really like to be in contact with you and to hear about your feedback, your ideas, maybe like episode requests if I should talk about something. And I'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend.